see how we're doing with the old live. What's up, everybody? Kenan here. We are live. It's a little bit earlier than we're normally used to going live, so I think I'm faking out some of my friends out there in YouTube land. But what's going on? Well, Coco's Critters just joined us. So yeah, man, let me give some shout outs real quick. We're hanging by the pond. Dean, how you doing? How you doing? Aaron, what's up? John Ladd Jr., Burnt Spoon, Luke, writes in Aaron, hello. Stop Motion S, just want to say hello to Sarah, Farouk. A lot of people jumping on here. This is right after that. It has been crazy.
Going live on YouTube channel right now. Go check it out.
Oh, I'm posing like it's a picture. By the way, this guy's hanging out here too. It's Brian Barczyk. I was posing what I thought was a picture. So Brian is hanging out here. We've been filming. It's been a fun week. So you know,
great, man.
It has been good. Time. We've had a lot of fun.
Oh,
so
there's a crazy video going to drop here on Sunday on Kenny's channel.
Oh yeah. So we did some collabs this week, guys, and it was a lot of fun. Look, Brian is the reason I do YouTube. You know, I did television. I was an action sports broadcaster. I did 2 Olympics. I was an announcer, kind of the traditional media route, you know. And years ago, I met Brian. And we struck up a friendship, and he had been doing snake bites for many years on YouTube.
Yep.
And he started Animal Bites, and, you know, we had tried, you know, with much frustration, getting involved. Chase Whitaker loves you, man.
Chase, what's up, man?
There you go. Chase loves you, dude.
Bro?
I'm going to be the conduit here.
Yeah, I can barely read. I can read a little
Yeah, well,
bit.
we'll get him. But what I wanted to say, guys, is it's funny, you know, we tried selling a TV show, Tom and I. We had some success with an Animal Planet type network. They abbreviated NG. Oh, Nat Geo, no big secret. Anyway, it didn't work out. Brian and I were talking, and we did his Animal Bites, and now we just love it, you know? And you know, you've been a YouTube guy for many years. I love the fact that we can kind of reach out and talk to the audience.
Yeah, well, I think we talked about it before. It's the difference between traditional media with the television and then this is that, yeah, there's that it's one way on TV. You know, on TV you watch and that's it. On YouTube and other social, you know, you get to be both ways. You know, you're not only watching, but you're interacting and you're messaging back and forth, and it's a community. And just like your Kenan Army,
the Kamp Kenan Army.
No,
it's so funny, man. You know, we both watch each other's vids. You know, we are friends. You know, I'm a definite supporter of Brian. You know, we, gosh, man, it's just fun to be with people that are. Let me tell you, here's what I really respect about Brian. About a month ago, we went to Chicago, and we were at the Shed Aquarium. We were doing little videos with our friend, Greg the Pond Guy. He had a little bit of a meeting up there. I get stopped from time to time, but Brian, man, he was stopped a few times at the aquarium. Here's what I liked about it, okay? What was really cool, guys, is that Brian stopped and spoke with every single person that stopped him. And there's a type of person that's a phony about stopping and being cool with whatever followers, fans, whatever you want to call it. And then there's a guy that's just genuinely, really giving of himself. And that's, you know, I've always known that about him. And what I was really struck by was the fact that, you know, you stopped, the kids were stoked, because we're doing this for young people, man. We want more people to love reptiles. We want more people to take care of reptiles. So you're a great ambassador, and that's kind of what I try and do here as well. Yeah, a little bit of a bromance, Greg Brashear is saying. Yeah, I'll lay off the bromance. We'll get into some other things.
But I think what is important is that you know, just like, and that's why I think we're such good friends, is that, you know, we both get it. I mean, without you guys, we don't get to do the things that we love. I mean, you know, you guys are such a big part of it to us that I know I certainly feel that connection to you guys, and I know Kenan does too with all the things that he does. And so it's so humble. You know, I tell people all the time, right? When you get success in whatever you do, whether it's business or YouTube or whatever the case is that, you know, one of two things happens. You either get humbled or you get arrogant. And for me, I'm unbelievably humbled by the support we have, and so when I get a chance to meet somebody that supports me, I mean, I'm just so happy, and I can't wait to spend as much time as I can. So it's really more a pleasure for me than anybody else.
Well, it was really cool to see, and I just wanted to make sure I said that to some of the folks watching. I'm gonna actually switch this. I'm gonna switch over here because don't you guys want to see the pond? You don't want to see the greenhouse, my ugly house. And I'm also gonna hand it over to Noah. That's Noah. What's up?
up, guys?
That's Brian's son. I think Noah's gonna kind of help us out with a little holding of the camera so we can hang out. And I'm gonna leave it up to Noah to actually look at the comments and whether they're for me or for Brian or for both of us. Let's answer some questions, but it's rare that, we're together. And, Brian's got some things he's working on, and I don't think we're going to make an official announcement yet, are we?
No, I mean, it doesn't matter. Nothing's
doesn't matter.
secret on my end.
Yeah, okay, cool. Now, as far as what's really neat is a while back, and again, this is another thing to show you the I would say, the unselfishness, the selflessness. Isn't that the right word?
Selflessness, the word?
Selflessness, yeah. Brian has done very well on YouTube. He's over 1 million subs. He's very generous with doing collabs for people that he believes in. And so we've done some collabs before. We're doing collabs this week. But furthermore, he wants to do something even more exciting. Why don't you tell people what you're trying to accomplish and what do you want to do?
Yeah, we want to do, and Kenan was the very first person I talked to about this, obviously with our relationship with animal bites and him, doing so well on his own, and just having all of those components you need to be successful on a platform like YouTube or any social for that matter. And what we want to do is something that, right now we're just terming it Animal Squad, right?
Yeah, it's not an official name.
It's not an official name by any stretch. We may change it, who knows. But what we want to do is bring like-minded people, myself, Kenan, other people that that doesn't have to always be reptiles. It can be any type of animal, wildlife ambassadors, so to speak. And we want to create a squad of people, or a group of people, clan, whatever you want to call it. And we want to kind of just together bring all of the levels up. So we'll be collabing together. We'll be sharing each other's content. We'll be just trying our hardest to kind of, the old saying is right, all boats rise.
Yeah,
with the
rising
water.
tide lifts all.
Yeah.
Speak up a little
Speak
bit.
up.
Yeah.
They want you to talk louder.
Yeah.
Brian talks a little lower.
Yeah,
than me.
I'm not as animated when I'm not on my channel.
You can be as animated as you want. One of the things that he's explaining about, though, guys, is the fact that, by getting like-minded individuals together, we can also do more by way of maybe, working together with some really cool brands to help us get out in the field and take trips. And so can you imagine a trip with like Brian, me, and like, I don't know, I'm just throwing names out, like King of DIY.
My buddy Joey.
Yeah, getting out to the Amazon.
Yeah.
And seeing all the different animals there and bringing you guys amazing content across all of our channels.
Well, yeah, and the thing with all those people, you got Joey from King of DIY. He's a fish guy, so in the Amazon, he's going to be looking at cichlids and stuff, and then Kenan's going to be looking at his thing, and I'm going to be looking at my thing. And so together we can be collaborating and doing some amazing things for all kinds of communities. And what it does, it helps build a brand of animal ambassadors where if you want to, you might say, hey, listen, I watch Kenan, but I would like some other content similar or similar. Now all of a sudden when you go to our, kind of squad, that everyone has similar morals and
similar values.
And all of a sudden it gives an opportunity to open up our audience to more people. And also, as that brand grows, we can bring on more people that kind of fit into that world, if that makes sense. So it's something that's not new to YouTube by any stretch. It's just something that's new to the animal world of YouTube. No one's doing it in animals, so let's hope we get it done.
Are there any questions out there? We'll answer a few questions before I ask a question of Brian, since I have them. It's something I think you guys will find interesting. Any good questions, Noah, that maybe we should address right now?
Let's
Anyone
see.
out there?
Let's see.
No one's just going to make stuff up now, guys.
Well, I'm actually going to ask Brian a question while he's looking to save a question in the back end. But guys, Brian, we talk a lot, and I know you were a big snake breeder. You had thousands of animals. You downsized recently. You said something to me that got me really excited just yesterday. As those of you who watch the channel know, and I'm sure you know, I love to keep animals in naturalistic enclosures. You've had something of a sea change or an epiphany.
Yeah,
Okay.
epiphany.
And why don't you talk to me a little bit about this epiphany and what you want to do moving forward with your own collection?
Yeah, I mean, it's really weird, and I don't want anyone to think I'm a hypocrite, number one, nor do I want to come down on people that keep things in minimalistic caging. But, I've spent 28 years really keeping animals in pretty minimalistic caging, racking systems, stuff like that. And yeah, it's been an epiphany over the last few months in particular, probably going back almost a year, but really heavily in the last few months where I really just am enthralled with naturalistic, big enclosures. And of course, we're doing our little zoo next door that will be open sometime in July. And it's going to be all like naturalistic, bioactive soils and all
Very
kinds
cool.
of different stuff. And yeah, I think that we were talking about how I'm really excited about now trying to lead that way as well, to try to show people that, someone can even change from a minimalistic snake rack keeper into something more like naturalistic enclosures. And I'm not going to say that I'm never going to keep a snake in a rack, and I'm not going to come down on people that do keep snakes in a rack. I'm just saying that my interest has all of a sudden shifted to something a little bit different, and that's why I love coming to places like Kenan's, and we've toured around to a couple other places that have enclosures.
You'll have to watch his channel to see what he's putting out there. When is the video with me goes up tomorrow?
So yeah, tomorrow the one here, which I really like. I mean, there's certain, I do all the edits on my channel, and there's certain shows that I get that I just really enjoy the editing part, and it comes out and I go, wow, I like the way it looks. Like,
cool.
I enjoyed it. Probably because I'm not in it much. It's almost all Kenan. That's probably why I liked watching it, because I don't really like watching myself, to be honest with you. But yeah, tomorrow will be that one, and then we'll have a few other things that me and Ken have done over the next couple days too.
Right, basically we wanted to give some of his, and again, he's been very generous. I mean, the reality is that, if I go on Brian's channel, it exposes me to all of your animal-loving followers. And so I'm very appreciative of that. But I did a video yesterday with Brian for my channel, which will be Sunday, and it will end a saga that has been brewing for quite some time on the channel. It puts it to rest. I'm smiling. So anyway, you'll have to tune in Sunday for that. But
I was going to say really quick is that I think that some people, and this always bothers me, especially in social media, YouTube and other social media, is that somehow some people feel like by helping others it hurts them.
Right.
And I never understood that. Like, if I can help someone else, like my audience can maybe get exposed to someone else that I think is awesome, like that doesn't hurt me, that helps me. It's like, it's not like people are going to go, oh, I'm going to start watching Kenan and never watch you again.
No,
They're
it's just
gonna
more to
him
watch.
more.
Exactly.
So that's one of the weird things I've always thought with social, because we work with a lot of social people, and we work with a lot of big YouTubers, and every now and then you get a YouTuber that'll say something like, oh, I can't share your content because I just don't do that. And I'm always like, well, why? Like, what does that matter? Like, helping me doesn't hurt you. And so my point is, it's not that I'm like super generous. I just think it makes sense for our community.
It's true. Paul Cafaro, actually, a young man who doesn't live far from me, his channel's just blown up. I mean, he just cruised right past us, and I'm stoked for him. And I did collaboration with him, and it's truly the rising tide lifts all boats, and that's how. You know what, guys? It brings us to our next thing that I always wanted to get in with you, because the next thing is, guys, we need to be like that in our comments, and I always stress that especially our channel, our campers, whatever you want to call yourselves out there. I think we have a pretty cool group of guys. There's always going to be some haters out there. But, I don't really pay attention to them. I got used to it when I was riding BMX. I learned some crazy moves back in the 90s. And I went from being the announcer to being a professional. And I learned these tricks in what's called a foam pit. And I was the first guy to do that. And it was funny because everyone was used to me being the announcer. And then all of a sudden I'm doing these high-level BMX tricks. And they perceived it as me taking money out of their mouths or stealing their thunder. And so there was a backlash against me. So I got used to hate from like a lot of people at an early age, and now I'm a bit older, and some of you may experience like the bullying and the comments. I'm here to just tell you, man, you got to really temper that. You got to really understand where it's coming from. Like, the thing that I know now as an older guy, all right, old man, and I am, is that usually if they don't know you and they're hating on you, it's a jealousy thing, you know? It's really like they're upset with themselves. So if you're experiencing some of that stuff, if you're starting a channel or if you threw up a photo or whatever you're dealing with, man, like don't sweat that stuff so much. It gets better as you get older, or you learn how to deal with people that don't like you as you get older. But you know, you went through a lot recently,
Yeah.
you know, with some pretty horrible comments and feelings, made you question, why am I doing this?
Yeah, it's hard, you know, and obviously it hit me at an older age, and I didn't really deal with it as well as I'd like to. You know, and being, you know, there's pluses and minuses to being real sensitive. You know, when you're sensitive, you care about other people, but then you care about what everyone says, and sometimes you can take it to heart. I think that it was a really difficult time for me, you know, because things, you know, get said about me that I would die for. You know, I would die to go against what people say about that, and that's the hardest part. But like you said, I think that, you know, in a way, it was a great growing experience for me because I learned that, like you said, when someone that doesn't know you says something horrible or just regurgitates something that they've heard over and over that it has no basis in truth, it's really their issue, not your issue, right? It's they're unhappy with something and they're trying to project their unhappiness onto you. And I'm not saying that everything that's, you know, there's certainly things that's said about me that are probably true. I have no idea, but my point is that there's so many hateful things, and it affected me really, really badly. I mean, more than I ever wanted to admit. But I've kind of gotten past it now, and I've grown. And like I said, not only did it make me grow as a person, and understand, you know, being, you know, I'm the only one that put myself in this position, right? I mean, no one asked me to do a YouTube channel that goes social. I have to accept that role, and this is one of the negatives that comes along with that. But that being said, it also made me kind of change the way I thought about animal keeping.
There you
know,
go.
I mean, it really did, because I had told Kenan this. There was an email that literally said, you know, Brian, the biggest problem I have with you is that, you know, you keep your snakes the same way you have for the last 25 years. And that kind of hit home because I thought, they are right. You know, I do keep my snakes the same as I have for 25 years. But it's not just me, it's the industry. The industry really hasn't changed in 25 years. And when I say the industry, I mean the reptile breeders, right? I mean, our racking systems, yeah, they might be a little bit different tub, or they might be steel instead of plastic, or whatever the case may be. But basically, we keep it the same way. And I just thought to myself, wow, that's kind of telling, you know? Like, wow, we haven't really, we've learned so much about these animals and keeping them and breeding them and care of them. Yet, you know, the way we house them hasn't changed hardly at all. And that's really was the light bulb that went off in my head, like, I have to do something. Now, with that being said, I did a video about this. Listen, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, hey, I want you to keep everything in natural big cages, but I want to buy a leopard gecko for $20. Because those two things don't line up, you know? You have to understand that if you want to buy a leopard gecko for $20 or a ball python for $50 or whatever the case might be, there's going to have to be commercial breeders, and those commercial breeders, to be able to keep those prices at that price point, are going to have to breed them in minimalistic racking systems. That's just the way it is. So, you know, and I likened it to the you know, grass-fed, free-range beef thing, right? Like, what percentage of the beef industry is free-range cattle? It's probably less than 1 or 2%, because you have to pay 5 times the price for the same meal, you know? And most people won't do it, you know? So that as much as people might say, I hate commercial farming, they're not willing to buy the grain,
more
you know,
expensive,
the more expensive, you know, more humane animal. And so that's what we have to keep in mind with reptiles. I know that's a little philosophical, but my point is that you can't say, I only want to support people with naturalistic cages, but yet then when you go to the pet shop or you go to a reptile show, you buy that animal, you know, because you can't commercially breed them cheap enough.
You know, I just think personally, if we can get, you know, animals into, as you guys know, with how I like to do things, less is more. It's less about collecting as many animals as you can, and more about, as I've said many, many times, how well can I provide for these animals that I do have. And I think that I always think of these animals as art. They're nature's art, you know, the way they interact with their environment. For me, has always been why I think reptiles are interesting to begin with. Just the way they blend in with their environment and interact with it. So I think if you guys focus more, if we can kind of get our heads around changing from, oh, I'm collecting baseball cards, rather to, you know, hey, I'm going to provide for like 10 animals, but I'm going to do it really well.
Well, it's funny. It's funny, and this is coming from a guy that really, my motivation for a quarter century was to have the most animals I could have. You know, you're right, and it's funny. As a matter of fact, I've kind of even thought, like, the terminology. I don't even like to call my animals my collection
Yeah.
anymore, because I think about that. I'm not collecting animals. I'm caring for animals. I don't want to be an animal hoarder. But again, that, like you said, and I'm not coming down on anyone that does it that way or anything like that, because I'd be a hypocrite because I've done it so many years that way. But I agree with you. I've now changed to where I get less and less and less, and as time goes on, I will actually have less and less and less animals.
But you'll
not more and
appreciate
more.
more.
Right.
You know, and it's
Yeah.
funny. You know, listen. You know, people change. I mean, you keep saying like, "Oh, I'm not coming down," and that's fine. I get that. But you know, we have a friend, and he's been on both of our channels, Tom Crutchfield. Tom admittedly was a smuggler of animals. That was just how they got animals back in the day. You know, he admits that. But you know what? You're allowed to change your minds, guys. That's the beauty of living on Earth and being a sentient human being. You're able to change your mind and learn from past mistakes. You know, I'll be the first to admit, when I was a young guy, I would get animals, impulse buy, they'd die. It was horrible. And I'm kind of spending my adult life kind of working off what I consider the sins of my past. Not to say that you were a sinner, but just
right.
like for me, not knowing about these animals, I want to do the best I can now and provide you guys with a place to go, and I'm sure you're doing the same thing, where you guys will have these videos as a way to get inspired and learn from, and so that you, when you start out, you're going to be where we are and then take it to the next level. You know, like, so in 10, 20 years, you guys are going to be on YouTube or whatever new social media platform there is, and you'll be teaching the next generation, and we'll continue to have this respect for the animals we keep. That's truly my goal. You know, it's like, I'm super passionate about how we keep these animals. You know, I've been talking about something I was able to share with Brian. I can't announce it officially yet, but you know, Kyle and I are buddies. Kyle Asplund from, you know, Crocodile Kyle. And we're going to be doing things together that I think will be really exciting. And it'll be, I'll just say it'll be a place where hopefully some of you will come visit, and that'll be neat. But you know what? Let's see. There's got to be some questions out there.
Yep.
Everyone's listening to us talk, and they're probably bored.
There's one that said, what do you guys think on Puerto Rico boas?
Puerto Rican boas?
Yeah.
I love them. I mean, they're, you know, Jamaican boa. They're not necessarily the prettiest or most colorful, but you know what? I love them. I mean, actually, Crutchfield brought some up here. We did a live with one. I think it might have been a Jamaican boa, but anyhow, they're a similar species. But go ahead. What do you think?
I think they're awesome. You know, as a matter of fact, one of the first snakes I bred was actually a stratus, which is the Haitian, you know, boa. I think they're all, you know, subspecies. And they're really neat animals. And of course, I think, what is it, the red mountain boa, you know, is one of the most famous photos out there, the pied one.
Yeah.
The red, you know, which is also another subspecies. So I think they're really cool. The only thing that's issue with them is that when they're born, they're kind of tricky. You know, they like to eat lizards, and so they're a little bit tricky when they're born. I remember just pounding my head against the wall trying to get them to eat for months and months and months. But
Wow.
really cool animals. I think that the epicrates are all, you know, that whole genus. You know, you really only see Colombian and Brazilian rainbow boas, but there are so many. And Tom has some amazing ones, you know, Fords and, like you said, Jamaicans and Red Mountains. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's so many different epicrates that are amazing that most people never even knew existed, to be honest
Wow.
with you. So really cool animals.
That's cool, man. See, I always learn a lot about snakes when I hang out with Brian and Tom, so I
And
like
I learned
this
about
too.
turtles and tortoises because
There you
he's
go.
like, this is a so-and-so. I'm like, that looks like a turtle to me.
Yeah, it's fun, man. What else is out there, Noah?
Another one asked my dad if, when is he going to breed Speedy with one of your tortoises?
We could do a collaboration with
sulcatas.
Speedy Sulcata. That's funny, man.
Yeah, I don't think he needs a male.
Yeah, I
sulcata
don't need a
anytime
male
soon.
Sulcata, and I'm not shipping any of my girls up to the Great White
Yeah,
North.
hopefully we're going to get a female. As a matter of fact, I've got a buddy of mine that is up in Atlanta. I told you about. I'm going to
Cool.
visit next week. He's got some female sulcatas. He's got a beautiful, kind of, I don't even know exactly what it is. It's called Noah's Ark, and it's kind of like a refuge for animals, and it's really amazing. So he gets a lot of rescued sulcatas, and so he's going to probably send one, because my poor Speedy, he's horny, and
Oh, God.
you know, he's a poor guy.
He's humping
He
everything.
breeds the ground, he breeds the brooms, he breeds,
Oh,
you know,
man.
so, yeah.
Hey, ask Brian another question. I'm going to grab something so we have something to show you guys. I know you like animals, so I'm going to
All right, I'm taking over this stream,
There you
all
go.
right?
All right, before Arthur donated $5.
Oh, thanks,
He,
Arthur.
he said, thank you both for educating the youth and creating reptile lovers all over the
No
world.
worries, man.
Also received his first Kamp Kenan shirt in the mail. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you so very much, man. I do appreciate that, Arthur.
Yeah, Arthur, you know, I mean, supporting guys like Kenan through Super Chat and Patreon, I mean, it allows him to continue to do things. You know, people sometimes don't realize how hard it is to create content constantly, you know, edit it, get it uploaded, have the equipment to do it, you know, all the different things. So, you know, even just like their Super Chat for $5, I mean, it's amazing how much that helps feed the animals, continue to grow Kenan's army as you guys are, and I think it's great. So, you know, good on you to support him.
There's a couple more.
Cool. What else?
Jonas donated and said, "How's the African rock python doing?"
Oh, the Indian rock. It's an Indian python, and it's funny. So I'm excited that Brian came down today. We'll get right to it. The animal hasn't eaten. I just picked up a live feeder jumbo rat, and we placed it in there, and I had him, you know, we're going to look at the animal a little bit more. The truth is this. Here's the truth of it. If this snake, you know, I'm going to bring it to my wildlife sanctuary. We're going to have them look at it, the vet's there. But if that snake doesn't start eating soon, I'm going to be really worried, and I don't think there's going to be much. It's very difficult to assist feed a snake that big, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't really do much with it. I mean, you know, it's a situation, you know, is there something wrong,
Right.
or is it just on a fast? You know, if it's on a fast, it's not a problem. I mean, it's got plenty of body weight. But if there's something kind of going on, you know, maybe an injury or some sort of, you know, could even be worse, bacterial, viral, that's something that, you know, it's not going to come back from. So you got to understand, like, why is it not eating?
Right.
You know, if it's just on a fast, no big deal. And if it's a male, which I don't know yet, we'll take a look. You know, it's a female, and that's not a good thing. You know, females typically don't fast this time of the year unless they're gravid, you know, and it's never been in with a male, and it didn't look like it was ovulating or swelling whatsoever. So, but we'll take a closer look, and hopefully, you know, hopefully it'll come out well.
Yeah, I'll definitely do an update on that. In the meantime, here's a little Timor snake neck turtle. I moved these guys into the pond, but I did it. If you look just beyond me, I made this like little kind of nursery, I'm calling it, and it's made out of wire. These guys can't fit through, and so now these guys are getting to be in the pond with natural filtered water, little guppies swimming all around, and natural sunlight. So I'm really excited, and man, it's just a great way to raise the animals. I know you don't do too much with turtles, but you know, when dealing with snake necks like this Timor snake neck, you want to try and get them to eat pellets. It's kind of the holy grail of getting a snake neck turtle to start to eat pellets. Right now it's eating bloodworms, krill, brine shrimp, and I'm starting to get it on these little guppies that I have in here. But I wanted to show you guys an animal at least, and I love these. Aren't they cool?
They're like the most bizarre thing in the world. We looked at that one over at Fred's, you know, and it's just so freaking cool. It's the same species or different?
This is actually a species that's from Timor. These guys are in Indonesia, so they're not like the South American snake necks. But like I mentioned in the video, you'll see on Brian's channel, you know, they were part of the supercontinent, and when those continents split, they're, you know, for whatever reason, the snake neck stayed in the southern hemisphere for the most part. Side necks. There are some side necks north of the equator in Venezuela and Colombia, but by and large, they are found south of the equator.
Such an unusual.
It is,
it's
man.
like, you know, what
It's the perfect. It's just like today, guys. It's the Snake Man, Turtle Dude. We've joined forces, and
came up with this.
There it is. This is our child. There you go. Any other questions out there, Noah?
Yep, one dude donated, said, "When's Brian in the Wild coming out?"
Oh wow, look at
Man,
that.
it's been
Yeah, what's going on with that?
It's been out for like a year and a half. So,
But it's on DVD.
It's on DVD or Blu-ray. Yeah,
There
so
you
it's
go.
it's been out for like a year and a half. So yeah, I mean, you know, I'd love to do an episode 2 of that at some point, but it was a lot of work. I'm going to be honest with you. It was about 10 times harder than I expected to do a full documentary from start to finish. I mean, we poured so much more money into it than I ever expected. But it was awesome. I mean, I always wanted to do it. I did it. It's awesome. I'm super happy with it. And hopefully everyone liked it. And maybe I'll do another one in the future. But man, I tell you, that was a lot of work. It's hard to justify the amount of work.
I think what we need to do instead is just we need to do a trip on our own to Africa or Indonesia or Asia or someplace really cool. That's what we should do.
Let us know and let us know where we should go.
Yeah,
Let us know. Make
also,
that comment down.
you know what would also be fun is just for the heck of it, why not some YouTube folks that you think we should collaborate with?
Yeah.
That should be a member of the squad, man.
Yeah.
You know, we're looking for people that want to keep, you know, the content informative. We want classy people. You know, we'll have fun.
So
but,
post
you know.
like who you watch, you know, and
Yeah.
who you would like to be part of it. I mean, it doesn't have to be reptile people. It can be
Anything,
wildlife.
birds,
Yeah, any wildlife.
fish,
Yeah, you name it.
pachyderms.
Yeah, I love pachyderms.
I love pachyderms.
Yeah, they're super
Intelligent
cool.
animals.
I hope I can see some. I'm heading to Africa next week, so hopefully we'll see some pachyderms. For those guys that don't know what a pachyderm is, it's an elephant, it's a rhino. That group of animals. So they're absolutely amazing. So hopefully we'll get a chance to see some of those guys in the wild next week.
How long have we gone? This has been a long live, right?
It's a long
30
ride.
minutes.
30
How-
minutes.
30 minutes. We gotta go.
Yeah, we gotta go.
We gotta
man.
go, guys. So, you know, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for joining the live stream. Thanks for him for popping on over.
Thank you.
You know, there'll be some more content coming out. Check out his channel, my channel on Sunday for a bonus video. I think you guys will dig it. I'm
Yeah,
smiling.
tomorrow's video will be really cool about this place. I'm real happy with it.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much for all the donations, and I wish I could see you to shout some out. Tell me someone to shout out real quick.
All right, one last person to shout out. Thank you, Jonas. Thank you for watching, Reptile Man.
All right, Jonas, Reptile Man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you guys.
Say
for
their
having me.
name. They get excited.
Jonas,
there
what's
you
up, my
go.
man?
dude.
Fan.
So
I'm a
am
big
I.
fan.
All right, Tessa. Thank you so much for watching. We are out of here. We'll see you later.